านดร.ยูกะอุจิตะนะคะゆか先生ご参加いただきまして誠にありがとうございます。はい、ご準備はよろしいでしょうか。はい、皆様อุจิตะ先生を拍手でお迎えください。ขอเสียงปรบมือต้อนรับดร.ยูกะด้วยค่ะ
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, all. Thank you very much, MC. The very nice introduction in Japanese. I'm very happy to hear my own language. Thank you very much. And first of all, I'd like to congratulate T.O.S. to organize this wonderful conference. Actually, this is the Avenue International Conference. It's very much inspired, it's very motivated, and I was asked to speak something to inspire, motivate you on OSH. I try my best, and thank you very much for the organizer to invite International Labour Organization and myself to this very important conference. This is my great pleasure and honor to speak and to share our experience with you. Thank you very much. And actually, I'm a bit nervous because I'm very familiar with make presentation. But during these 3 years, always I talk to my computer, not for the people, not for the actual, the expert. So I'm a bit nervous. I'm so sorry, but I try my best. And today I will speak English. I'm sorry I cannot speak Thai. So anytime it's not clear or it's not very much clear, or that you need some comment or question, I welcome your insight, your input, and maybe we have some time later, I think. So thank you very much. And today's my theme is the safety and health management in the future of work. Next slide, please. Asoka. Sorry. And this is the outline today's presentation. Maybe better to stand here. And let me start from what is the ILO, and we will a little bit talk about the ILO Centenary Declaration on the Future of Work, and OSH Management, the Future of Work, and what we'll do the next step. Okay, I hope most of you heard about the International Labour Organization, and I hope you are familiar with the ILO. And the ILO is the UN, United Nations Specialized Agency, like WHO. We are very specialized to labor. WHO specialized for health. And we are very old, established in 1919. Actually, it's older than the United Nations itself. And we have the very unique tripartite structure consisted by the government, employers, and workers. And every single matter discussed and agreed or adopted in the ILO was agreed by tripartite partners. It's not only the national, the government or the very high level. Of course, our partner is yourself. You're coming from whatever, from the government or the company, enterprise, or the workers' organization, you are our partner. We are established the ILO strategy, plan everything with you. And the ILO is we have the decent work agenda, and this is to promote the decent work for all workers, irrespective gender, both women and men, or whatever the age, whatever the situation, the migrant, non-migrant. We promote the decent work for all workers. And we have the 4 pillars: rights at work, and employment, social protection, and social dialogue. Social dialogue means the conversation or the communication or the just exchange of information between workers, employers, and the government. And I will touch upon something, the rights at work, because recently we have very significant development on occupational safety and health and rights at work. And as I presented, the ILO was established in 1919. So the 2019, it was the centenary, 100 years anniversary. And ahead of the anniversary, the 2017, we have started the preparation for the centenary. And the 2017, we established the Global Commission. It's some kind of the meeting, the expert meeting on the future of work. And it consists of the 21 members of all of the regions, all of the world, and led by President of South Africa, and also the what else is the Sweden president. And there are actually the four pillars: the work and society, decent jobs for all, organization of work and production, and governance of work. And these commissions organize a lot of consultation, meetings, all of the social the partners. And in 2019, January, they launched this report. This report is the flagship report. And this report presented a human-centered agenda for the future of work. It consists of, it's emphasized to increase investment in people's capabilities, that is the long life learning, yeah, on not only OSH, but all labor matter, and also increase investment in the institutions of work. It's not that the ad hoc is the piecemeal, but the work should be institutionalized, it's systemized. And also the increased investment in decent and sustainable work. And the safety and health is part of decent and sustainable work. And as you can see, this is the diagram, is the conceptual diagram of this human-centered agenda. And more on that, regarding the investment of the, investment in decent and sustainable work, it's established a universal labor guarantee. Yeah, all workers, regardless of their contractual arrangement or the employment status, part-time job or the permanent job, they should enjoy fundamental workers' rights. And these workers' rights include living wage. Of course, we are working not only for the wage, but we need the wage, we need money to get money by our work, our labor. And of course, maximum limit on working hours. I like to speak about working hours in Asian and Pacific. You are the very hard workers. And actually, the ILO, in collaboration with the WHO, we work on the long working hours and its effect on our health. And we recognize people in Asian and Pacific is the longest working hours in the world, right? And lastly but not the least, the safety and health at work should be guaranteed for all workers. How? Yeah? And then the 2019, we organized the Centenary ILO conference, and many delegates discussed, the member states from all over the world discussed about the future of work, and they adopted Centenary Declaration for the Future of Work in June 2019. And this Centenary Declaration has a lot of components, but very importantly for us, the OSH expert, safety and healthy working conditions are fundamental to decent work. In fact, the discussion was really, really hard to include, to say, safe and healthy working conditions are fundamental human rights. But after the long discussion between government workers and employers, they decided at this point not to the fundamental rights, but decent work. However, this declaration are accompanied by the resolution. And this resolution is very specifically said the conference, all member states request our governing body to consider as soon as possible proposal to including safe and healthy working conditions in the ILO's fundamental principle and the rights at work. And since then, we discussed a lot about this matter. And in fact, June 10th, 2022, just the Friday last week, evening of the Friday, the International Labour Conference adopted safe and healthy working environment as fifth pillar of the fundamental principle and rights at work. This is very historical because basically we have the 4 pillars for the fundamental principle and rights at work. Yeah, the collective bargaining, elimination of forced labor, elimination of child labor, elimination of discrimination at work, and now, I'm sorry, I didn't add the safety and health, but now the 5th pillar here, safe and healthy working environment is not the condition. Environment, very broad, the word of work, is 5th pillar of these fundamental rights, right? So this is it's very encouraging. Huh? Our role is increased and visible more and more. So it means your responsibility, your work will increase, right? So this is the very more historical momentum. Okay, then the more concretely, what should be done for the future of work in terms of safety and health at work? This figure I took from my respective Dr. Margaret Kidd, the NIOSH, United States. She presented in the ICO, International Commission of Occupational Health 2022. She presented this concept of the element of future work consists of the workforce, ourselves, the workers, and workplace. And the center, future of work, because the future of work is very broad and the many people has different idea, different concept of the future of work. Maybe you and me, different concept. But in fact, a lot of elements consist of the future of work. For example, work. Now we have the new technology and the digitalization change our work method. Yeah? And we have a lot of AI and robot in our workplace. And also workforce. Our workforce is aging, especially for the Asian and Pacific. In Japan, we have so many workers above 70 years old, right? And also workforce, we have a lot of psychosocial stress, mental health, and technology-based inequality. Some people access to the internet, everything, computer, but some other workers doesn't have any kind of support. So that is the workforce, and also workplace. Yeah, now we know we can work very well from home, right? We didn't know, and actually I didn't know, but the productivity is very high even if I work from home. And also we have a lot of gig or platform work. I was so surprised to return to Thailand last year. We have so many delivery workers. It's very convenient. But what about their working conditions, working environment of that kind of workers? Yeah. So these are the elements of the future work. And then our changing world of work and the impact on safety and health, we have a lot of the element, but as I said, labor process changed, and also working hours. The ILO's estimate that 2020, 8% of the global working time are lost. That means almost 150 million full-time works are lost by COVID-19 pandemic. And 2021, 4% of the global working time are lost. Yes? So many people lost their work. Many people lost their working time, yeah, just to stay the unemployment. But at the same time, some people are longer working hours. What about yourself? Obviously, the workers in the healthcare setting, they are working longer and longer. Yeah? What about yourself? I myself, I work longer time compared to the before the COVID-19. And the employment conditions is very precarious, is unstable, social security and discrimination, harassment, violence at home and at work increased by the COVID-19. Yeah? So changing world of work plus COVID-19, we have experienced a lot of change. What kind of challenge we have is the scope of the national law and policies. Now, the definition of the workplace is no more relevant. Where is the workplace? Not only the premise in the company, premise in the factory. We can work from home. We can work from the coffee shop. Yeah? So we need to think about the scope of the policy and law and the compliance enforcement. The labor inspector cannot visit to the home usually. How can they see the working conditions of the workers working from home? And what about the employer's responsibility? Who are your employer? Who are the workers, gig economy workers, employer? We don't know. Yeah? And who give the training? Who provide the PPEs to that workers is unclear, right? And reporting, recording, notification of accident, disease, how, who report to whom is really unclear, and we need to redefine that kind of elements. But the essential approach is the same. This is the global strategy on OSH, adopted very long time ago, almost 20 years ago, but still relevant. The first pillar is preventative safety and health culture. And the second item is the systems approach. This is the OSH management system, continuous improvement of safety and health system at the national, regional, or the sectoral, or the workplace level, right? When we talk about the systems approach at the national level, there are 4 elements. The Thailand, you have the excellent OSH system. You have the legislation, you have the tripartite advisory body, you have the inspection system, and the knowledge management, university, academy, institute, and you have the policy, right? And usually, the policy is the commitment, your goal of the safety and health. Usually, there are a gap between the current system and your goal, your policy. How to fill the gap? Through the programs. You have the programs, huh? And with the very specific target, you improved something, very prioritized the target, and towards the policy. That is the PDCA cycle. And if we apply systems approach at the enterprise level, that is the management system based on risk assessment. You are familiar with the risk assessment, right? And this is the diagram. Even for the company has the OSH system. Company should have the policy, and they should achieve closer to the policy through the profile analysis and the programs or the plan at the company, and they do the plan, do the program, evaluate the achievement by the how many accidents decreased, how many disease are prevented, and then coming back to the profile, programs, implementation, and the evaluation. This is the continuous cycle, right? So OSHA management system is the preventative measure, then the very importantly policies, and also management commitment, and workers' participation in all stages. You know very well about OSHA management system is provided by your law. So what is our way forward is already my time is running out. So these are the point I share today. So we have to focus on the recovery from the COVID-19 and the transition to the new normal. And also we are working in the changing world of work. We have a lot of items to address. And the fundamental principle and rights at work, now OSH is one of the pillars. So our role is very important. And the management system approach. So this is my last slide. Last year, the ILO member states, they adopted the global call to action for human-centered recovery. Always the workers are central. It's not the system, not the policy, not the law. Workers, human, should be center to our work, especially for the health and safety. That is, we are working for workers, right? And the protection of all workers is one of the 4 targets. Thank you very much for your attention.
อุจิตะ先生ステージでそのままお待ちください。はい。ในช่วงนี้นะคะดิฉันขออนุญาตเรียนเชิญท่านกฤษดาชัยกุลนะคะที่オシを代表しましてกฤษดา様は握手で患者の印をいたします。ขอเรียนเชิญนะคะท่านกฤษดาชัยกุลค่ะกรรมการผู้ทรงคุณวุฒิและประธานคณะอำนวยการงานสัมมนานะคะให้เกียรติขึ้นบนเวทีเพื่อที่จะแสดงความขอบคุณนะคะกับท่านดร.อุจิตะค่ะอาจจะมีการจับมือแล้วมองกล้องไหมคะให้อักชูเดะโอเนไงจะชิมาสึให้カメラをご覧くださいはいありがとうございましたขอพระคุณนะคะท่านกฤษดาชัยกุลค่ะและขอพระคุณนะคะท่านดร.ยูกะอุจิตะเป็นอย่างสูงค่ะ